Hi, as promised, this is a Yin class for winter. So this is a really restorative class. We'll be working a lot with the kidneys and with the bladder meridian, which are associated with the element of water, and water is the element of winter. So we're just going to start in Tadasana. Allow yourself to land by feeling your toes on the ground, maybe shrugging your shoulders, maybe letting out a big exhale, softening down your eyes, and just feel your connection with the ground. Take a moment to just feel into your body. And I know this is unusual to start a Yin class standing, but don't worry, we'll quite quickly get to the floor. Just let yourself feel into your body. In winter, there's a lot of darkness and heaviness. It's the time where nature often gets quiet. The trees are quite bare, and it's a time that's really good just to conserve your energy so that when the growing season starts, you have lots of energy to breathe life into your ideas. It's actually a good time to hibernate. We often do feel like hibernating, so do let yourself take more rest in this period. Tune into your breath. See if you can begin to deepen your breath. Breathing steadily in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And breathing steadily out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing steadily in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And breathing steadily out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just continue for a few more moments with this steady breath. Enjoying the inhale and the exhale. And just honoring yourself by setting an intention for this practice, just to listen to your body, to honor rest. Often we rush around from task to task and we don't give ourselves time to rest. And this is the time to rest. Let's feel the connection of the feet with the ground, the palms pushing into one another as you set this intention to give yourself time to rest. Honor yourself. Be present to whatever is going on for you. We're going to start with a little breathing exercise. So first you're going to turn to the left and then the right. And you're going to let your knees are going to stay slightly bent. And you just sway towards the left-hand side to start with. And as you breathe in, as you breathe out, turn to the right. And just let your hands flop by your side. So one hand will hit onto your back and the other onto your stomach. Now this is really to help the kidneys detoxify and flush anything out. Keep your knees just slightly bent. Move at whatever pace feels comfortable for you. Not doing Kapalabhati or really fast breathing, just moving, turning from side to side. Letting your hands gently tap against your body. Keep going. Rinsing through your spine as you twist from side to side. Keeping it up. feeling into your body as you move. And then slowly come to stillness. Sweep your arms up towards the sky, bring the hands together and lower them down in front of your heart. And slowly come down all the way to the ground, however is the best way for you to do that. Come to sitting with your feet together, knees out wide. And then from here, bring your feet a little away from you so you're making like a diamond shape with your feet. And then you can use a block or you can use the bolster. We're going to just lay ourselves forward over your bolster or the block, or even the block and the bolster. Use as many props as you would like so you can make yourself comfortable. If you don't have bolsters or blocks, you can get creative. Use pillows, books, anything that will help you feel supported. And then let yourself just sink forwards. We're going to be here for a few moments as this is Yin. So allow everything just to slow down. Remember the intention of rest. Let your breath naturally begin to get a little deeper. And just feel how your body feels in this moment. Are there areas that feel tight? You can, if you want your knees, if you've got any knee issues, it can be quite nice to prop them up with something. If you've got books or blocks, that can be quite nice if the knees are feeling a little tender. And the Yin, in Yin, you hold everything for slightly longer, so we're working into the connective tissue, and it's working more with the meridian system of the body. Well, it said you get into this after about 90 seconds, so we'll be here for a little while longer, but most poses we hold for about 3 minutes. Let any tension drop out of your head. Let your hands be soft. Sometimes we're unconsciously holding tension in our hands, and they're fists. If they are, just let them soften. If you can, perhaps think about turning the palms to face upwards. And something that's quite nice to think about while you're here is fully surrendering. What does it mean to you to surrender? Is it letting go of the resistance? Is it holding out a white flag? You can perhaps move a little bit deeper, letting go of some of your props if you wish. I think to surrender is just to letting everything be as it is, to offer no resistance, to be completely present. Feel how it feels in your body to surrender. Does your breath feel surrendered? Are you able to lengthen your breath out anymore? I'm going to slowly begin to think about moving out of this pose, but not quite yet. Just indulge a few more deep breaths here. Perhaps feeling any softening within the body, comparing how the pose feels now to how it felt when you first came into it. Perhaps you sunk a little bit deeper into the pose. If there's less restriction, you're able to fold a little deeper. How has your breath changed? Is your breath perhaps a little bit smoother now, softer? Now, if at any stage any of these poses become too much, know that you can always come out. But if you do, I would suggest to try to come back into them again. Often it's our mind that's telling us, oh, we don't want to be here, we're too irritated with the pose, it feels like too long, we've been here for ages. But perhaps the body's not sending you that signal. Perhaps the body is slowly letting you in, slowly letting you melt down and release and relax. Practice listening to your body, hearing the little flickers of change within your body, the lengthening of the muscles, of the tissues. Changing and flickering of sensations. As you next inhale, slowly going to come all the way up. You may feel a little bit older, as often we move out of yin poses. Our body feels like it may have aged, so it can be quite nice to make little fists with your hands and begin to tap the outsides of your legs all the way down to your hips, down the outside of your lower legs. And then pause. Come to whatever comfortable seated position is for you, that is for you, whether it's cross-legged or kneeling or any other variation. Let your palms rest upwards and just pause just to feel. And this is so important in yin, just to really feel in between each pose. Often we rush around from one thing to the next and we don't have time to properly digest anything. So feel what you feel. And then slowly we're going to move over. I'm going to come into saddle pose. So for this you might want to use your have your bolster behind you, or a cushion or a pillow. We're going to have the knees wide and the feet together. Sit so you're close to your buttocks are close to your bolster. And then from here you're going to lower yourself back onto your bolster. So you should feel this in the thighs and in the front of the body. If it doesn't feel good for you, then come back up to a seated variation or come into a low lunge, perhaps supporting the back knee. Perhaps you find with the bolster that you actually want to go a little bit deeper and you've got enough space in your body to do so. And then if you have, just slowly lower yourself all the way down onto your back. But make sure whatever variation you're in, that you stay mindful. You stay tuned into your body. You're not just listening to your mind telling you that you've been into a deeper version before or you want to get into a deeper version. Just listen to what feels good. This is all about resting and restoring your body, bringing your body back into balance. Yin is not about forcing anything. It's about becoming present to what is and allowing yourself to be with what is. Again, listen to your breath. If If you can imagine the breath like gentle waves washing over you, visualizing the water element. And as we become completely present, notice what your attention is becoming present to. Have the thoughts, what are the thoughts in your mind? Are they rushing around, or have you begun to quiet your mind a little bit? Are you focused on your breath, your body? Perhaps if you want even more of a deeper stretch, you can reach your arms over your head, grab hold of opposite elbow, stretching more through the front of your chest. Or just stay in whichever variation feels good for you. If you're in a lunge, probably you should try swapping the side of the lunge, so the other leg is forwards. See if you can become so focused and present that your mind is just on your breath and just on your body. If you notice that start to shift, then and thoughts start rushing through your mind, that's okay, but try to bring it back. This is why some of the more sensation-rich poses can feel good, can be good, because they bring you back to the sensation. It's harder for your mind to wander. If there are areas here that are feeling tight, or it's feeling difficult, or there are any emotions that are coming up, see if you can stay with them as opposed to reacting to them. See if you can breathe more space into any areas of tightness, any areas of resistance. See if you can soften your jaw, soften your eyes, perhaps close your eyes if they're not closed already. See if you can watch your body as it changes throughout the course of holding these poses. Can you feel some areas feel expanded? Some areas perhaps feel a little lighter. What comes up for you when you get still and when you get quiet? The moment we're slowly going to start to move. Slowly ease yourself up off the ground, up off the bolster, out of the lunge, and come to a comfortable seated position, whatever that is for you, perhaps kneeling, if that still feels okay on the ankles. Turn your hands this time to face down in a more grounding gesture, and just see what you feel. Watch as the sensations dance across the body, but bringing you back into balance. Trying to stay still to witness, to pay lots of attention to yourself, to listening. And you'll feel when your body's ready to move again, when everything's recalibrated. And we're going to use a block or a book or a bolster also. And lay this under your sacrum, which is the kind of triangle at the base of your spine. And then from here, you stretch your legs out in front of you. So this is also opening the front of the body, but more the psoas and the hip flexors. You can have the block or whichever level suits you. So just, again, listen to your body, maybe experiment a little bit. Always go somewhere that you can allow your body to sink in. So your body is relaxed enough that it's not creating tension. Your breath can still stay nice and slow. You're on the edge of sensation. In Yin, you never want to go anywhere. It's not about going somewhere super intense. It's about finding an edge, and it's like a soft edge that you allow yourself, instead of pushing through, to melt through. And it really helps lengthen out any connective tissue that may have got a little bit congested or stuck. It's just this slow kind of stretching, holding. So allow yourself to completely surrender to this experience. Trying to become as still as possible. And just taking the time to tune in. What is your body saying? What is your breath saying? How is your mind? Always bringing the attention back to the breath. Allowing the deep breath just to bring your body back into its natural balance. Nourishing and replenishing your cells. Taking this much needed time out to rest. Very slowly begin to bend one knee and then the other, both feet down to the ground. Remove the block and then just relax, keeping the knees bent and feet to the ground. Just feel into your body again. Notice the effect that that pose had on your body. Feel your front body compared to your back body. And let your breath flow through you, just releasing anything that may have got stuck. Slowly begin to bring your knees in towards your chest. And gently roll over onto one side to come up to seated. We're going to come into a wide-legged forwards fold. So here you can use your bolster, a bolster and a block. Any prop that you might have at home, any more inventive one, maybe pillows. If you haven't, maybe even a yoga mat that's rolled up. Or maybe you don't need anything at all. But remember, the object is not to get as low as you can, as fast as you can. It is just to feel what's going on in your body and allow your body to melt and slowly move through any restrictions you may be holding. Let your head get heavy as you fold over your bolster. And as it's yin, you can round your spine forwards. Let your toes just do whatever feels comfortable for them, so they can point up towards the sky if that's good for them. Flop out to the sides. Just listen to your body. Keep your legs and feet relaxed. Notice as you relax more fully onto your props, you may be able to take one of them away, or you may be able to move in a little bit deeper. Tune in completely to your body. This is your time. Feel into the inner thighs, the backs of the legs, the back side of your body. What feels like it might slowly be opening here. Can you send breath into any area that feels a little bit tighter, that finds it perhaps a little bit harder to surrender? And again, notice your hands. Are you holding fists? Can you open the hands in a more surrendering gesture? And being in these poses for longer really, really helps open out the body. Perhaps you might even be able to crawl in just a few millimeters deeper as we stay here a little longer. There can be a tendency to try and be somewhere that you're not. Just let yourself be wherever you are. As you inhale, slowly come all the way up. Pause and let yourself feel. And you can grab gently hold of the outside of your knees. Bend your knees, pulling the knees in towards each other. And then come forwards to lie down onto your bellies. Your elbows are going to come underneath your shoulders, tops of your feet to the ground. We're going to come into Sphinx pose. So if you want, you can use a block here, which can feel really nice to help support your head. Or you can just have the head in a neutral position. Do what feels good for you. We often, our heads are quite heavy, and we do use quite a lot of energy to hold them up. So it can feel like a real surrender to let the head be heavy on the block. Again, perhaps closing down the eyes wherever you are, and just becoming completely present with your body, with your breath. Sensation of breath flowing through you as you become stiller. And what does it feel like for you to move slowly, to become stiller? In this period of winter, in between seasons, waiting for things to start to grow again. If you want, you can come up a little higher. If it feels good for your back, you can come up onto your hands, walking the hands as wide as the mat, and staying with your head in a neutral position. If that feels like too much, just let yourself come back down onto your forearms. Just feel, rather than trying to be in a certain shape, just feel what the shapes feel like within your body. What is good for you right now? And that might change day to day, moment to moment. And that's okay. Let yourself be wherever you are in this moment. Breathing steadily more space into your body as you hold these shapes. And slowly begin to lower yourself down. Stack one hand on top of the other, making a pillow for your head. Maybe gently shake the hips, sway the hips from side to side. And then again, feel into your body. Feel whatever that pose brought up, whatever changes may have occurred. That may have felt like nothing, it may have been very, very, very subtle. Or maybe it felt like a lot. As you breathe, send the breath all the way down your spine. And exhale, let go of any stagnant energy. Breathing new energy down the spine all the way to the heels. And exhaling, letting go of what you don't need. Slowly we're going to come back up. Coming up onto all fours. And then come around into a seated position. So we're going to come into child's pose. You can, I think wide-legged child's pose is really nice, but you can also have your knees together. Can also be really nice to lie down over a bolster. It can feel really comforting. And then just turn your head to one side and then move it to the other. You can also use a block to support your head in child's pose. It doesn't feel comfortable coming all the way down to the ground. Or you can make fists to rest your forehead on. Or you can have your arms back so hands are by your feet. Or stretching your arms out in front of you just to give a little bit more of a stretch to under the armpits. Wherever you are, think about surrendering. What does it feel like to surrender? Just let yourself be completely absorbed by your breath and by your sensations. Every inhale, you're sending more space, more energy into a tight area of your body. And every exhale, you're softening, surrendering, letting go of what you've been holding on to. And make this really simple. Just stay with your breath, listening to the breath, breathing slowly in and slowly out. Very slowly, as you next inhale, beginning to walk your hands back in. Come to a kneeling pose just for a few moments. Let your body absorb what that what that did, how that felt for you, if anything's changed, if you can feel any fluttering of sensation within your body. Just experiencing what is there in this moment. Again, if you want, you can make your hands into loose fists and just begin to gently pummel the back of your body, awakening, supporting the kidneys. And we're going to lower ourselves into Shavasana. So you can use your bolster here, which is really nice, bringing it underneath the knees, or you can do so without the bolster, and come all the way down onto your backs, with the knees and with the bolster underneath the knees. And let yourself completely settle. Complete surrender. Sometimes in Yin, because it's at such a slow pace, we can feel that we don't perhaps need a Shavasana, but the Shavasana are key. We've done a lot deeper work inside the body of beginning to affect the connective tissue. So it's really important to let your body digest everything. And to digest everything best, we just need to rest. There's nothing else we need to do. Just let the breath flow through you. Let everything get heavy to the ground. Surrendering your thoughts, the tension that you've held on to. Any control of your breath. Just let everything sink back down to the ground, becoming completely still. Hibernating, conserving your energy, so you have lots of energy to give when spring comes. And you can let yourself stay here for as long as you like. It's always good to take a nice long Shavasana. Just try to listen to your body rather than your mind. Remembering the intention to honor your body by letting yourself rest. When in balance, the water element amplifies our wisdom, gentleness, and flexibility. And it's by resting that we bring the water element into balance. So let yourself stay here as long as you need. Perhaps before you leave, just bringing one hand to heart and one hand to your belly. Just remembering your connection to yourself. You can slowly rub your hands and feet together, creating some heat, then bring the hands over the eyes. Gently give yourself a little head massage, and you bring the hands back into your heart. Honoring yourself, honoring this time that you've given to yourself. Let yourself come to a comfortable seated position. And just feel again, tune into you, into the rest that you deserve. Namaste.